One. And we live.
Well, hello there.
And we live in this motherfucker. My boy. It's your main Fontaine, Mr. Mecca, the Feelings Wrecker,
Yes, sir.
and Dr. Phil to make you feel better.
All the time.
We here with Bikes in the Hood Podcast.
And we got a good topic for that ass.
I mean, I'm trying to tell you.
We.
Leah, you done already kicked it off with some
You
shit.
did. Motherfucker already started just
You
jabbering. I know your
yeah.
fingers is tired. You probably got carpal tunnel. You was typing so goddamn fast. Oh, wait a minute. They talking what? Sound like a real typewriter. And you just using your phone.
Man.
That's why you on your phone.
Okay.
Yeah, we talking club business.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it's
Definitely.
all right to speak on club business. When it's not. Why is your club business all over the streets?
Especially social media. That is the nigga news for real.
Yeah.
You ain't lying.
Shit.
Fuck.
And social media being the main.
But you know what? I think we kind of had something similar before. I don't know what's worse. The motherfucker talking it or the motherfucker listening to it.
You're right. I mean, fuck.
Because once they talking, they tell you, oh yeah, I was talking to so-and-so, and they was saying, you know, so it's like, if it go to your ears and it stay, it's all good. But if it once it leaves your mouth again, I think that's where the barrel really starts to roll, you know?
Right.
The person should have never opened up their mouth, period, you know? But, yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of it, man. And you know what's crazy? I was accused of that.
Oh, God.
I was accused of that, but you know what I did? Who said it? Hold on, let me get him on the three-way.
Right.
Right.
We finna nip this in
Right.
the bud.
Right.
Yes,
Hey, man,
sir.
did I talk to you? No, you ain't never talked to me about y'all club. Oh, okay.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, sometimes people leave with false information, or people get into a situation with their club or a club member, and the next thing you know, they want to badmouth their club or the club members to other people. And when you're in the club, you're privy to a lot of shit that goes on. And then you turn around and take it to an outsider because you're mad, you're angry, whatever it is. You know what I mean? But I think the people in the session shut them people down if that person not coming to seek some type of suggestions to how to deal with the situation.
Right.
You know, sometimes I think one can't get the answers needed internally. You know what I mean? They have to go to someone externally. But if that external person is not someone that can keep it, you know, then you're talking to the wrong person.
Mm-hmm.
And all the time, and at the same time, the external person doesn't have to be in another club, because
Right.
when you start to divulge club business, you need to keep it within that aspect.
Right.
Like, so find you an OG that's in your club, or I mean something like along those lines.
Yeah.
You know what happens is, though, you'll sit there and get someone who gets tainted, you know, or get their feelings hurt, whether it's they got fined, they got suspended, they got whatever the hell.
Right.
You know, and what they do is they go out and they spin this narrative.
Right.
Like the organization ain't shit. Or,
Right.
Or the press ain't shit. Or if the Sarge gave me the fine, the sergeant ain't shit.
Yeah.
Instead of telling the world what the fuck they did to get that fine.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Or to get suspended, or whatever the case may be. You know, so when that happens, you know what I mean, at that point, you're just really looking for cheerleaders. I've always said it from the start. You know, motherfuckers looking for them cheers, them golf claps.
Them accolades.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No need for all that shit.
Pity pat parties, you know. But Leah, you did say a mouthful. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like she says on there about talking club, personal business.
Right.
That happens all the time, too.
Yeah, all the time.
You know what I mean? Because at some point, somebody hating on you,
Yeah.
whoop-de-wham, so they figure if they divulge your personal weaknesses or whatever, someone else going to chew them up.
Right.
Beat them up, or, you know what I mean, just, like, tear you down somehow. You know?
Right.
So,
And you know, another one of the challenges I think is with it is like some of the retirees, you know, that has the knowledge. As you was talking, some try to force feed you, some just give you good game
Right.
suggestions, advice, what you do with it is up to you.
Right.
And then you got those the worst ones, who sit back and say nothing, or either when they say something, they talking about the person instead of talking to the person to help him or her become better. You know, so, and I think most clubs probably deal with that. You know, you have a lot of disgruntled club members.
Right.
You know, they don't like you because you got the new Jordans on. You know, they don't like you because your hair is always slayed. You know what I mean? They don't like you because your bike is fly. Whatever the reasons are, that gives them reason to go and talk about you.
Right.
And nobody stops and says, me and you was talking earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Why would he do that? What did you do?
Right.
See, we never question our folks. What did you do, homie?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Oh, no, I didn't do no. So he just gave you a fine. So, yeah, well, he said to be there at 10. What time you get there? 10:01. You was late.
Right.
10 is 10.
Man, he said 10:00. You was late. He didn't care what you said. 10:01, 10:05, 10:09.
Well, you know, that's
Nigga,
Mecca,
you
so
late.
I had to make sure Mecca understand.
I
I
got that
understand.
right.
You know what I mean?
If he say be there at 10, if you there at 9:59 and 58 seconds.
Yeah, you know what I'm
you're
saying?
damn near late.
But, you know, and again, it's like a lot of spoiled brats with patches.
Yeah.
You know, they want to do something, and then when they get reprimanded for it, it's a big old problem. You know, motherfucker turn a minute situation into a fucking mountain.
That's because the head nigga ain't let him know. If you get caught talking club business, I'm going to cut your head off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty much.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's the shit right there that irritates my soul. For a motherfucker to sit here, you're in the club, and all of a sudden you're no longer in the club. And the first thing you do is run your bitch ass to social media and tell them, oh, well, you know, this and that about what the club did not do for you. If that's the case, take your shit off, lay the fuck down, and shut the fuck up. There's no need to go social media and ask social media for...
The golf clap.
Yeah.
No one... I don't want to hear that shit.
Right.
And I've been seeing and noticing that too many individuals get out of a club and you go talk shit about that particular club, and then you sit back and talk shit about them as if they didn't mean shit to you in the first place. Mm-hmm. Now, if that's how you really felt, then keep that shit to yourself. Don't need to put that shit in social media and air it out so everybody can see this shit and hear about it. Mm-hmm. Now, if you choose to talk about it amongst you and a certain individual, then fine, so be it.
Right.
But that extra shit, save that shit for somebody else, man. Shut your fucking mouth.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. The problem is, like I said, when they do it, and whoever they talking to, instead of correcting the situation, they trying to encourage, man, come on over here with us. You should be over here with us anyway. Well, guess what? They're going to come do the same thing over there.
Right.
Fuck.
No club is immune to problems or challenges.
At all.
Everybody have problems.
Right. So you going to let this person come over there? I had a dude tell me, oh, yeah, man, you know what? I got control of him. You know, I know how to control him. Oh, okay. 90 days later, he's like, yeah, man, he ain't going to make it.
Right.
But you got control of the brother.
He gonna control the way he get the fuck up out of here.
You know, so and it's, I just think it's sad that nobody bothers to say, man, shut the fuck up. You're talking too much.
Yeah.
You know? You're talking too much.
Like I said, a lot of times it comes from the head, because sometimes the head can be a little messy.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying, and dramatic, you know what I mean, on that aspect of the game. But to kind of backtrack, kind of what you said, Mecca, about, you know, what the club can do for them. Like Duval said, it's supposed to be what you do for the club, not what the club can do for you. Mm-hmm. You know, and I don't think everybody really puts that out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some people, like I said, they look at they go in and they see, I guess, the good parts of what the club can give you. Like when it comes to the brotherhood and having help and, you know, all that kind of shit. So that's the first thing niggas think. Oh, well, shit, if I join the club, this is what I get.
Right.
Not what the fuck I'm going to give them.
Yeah.
You know, like, and I, you know, a lot of times I don't like harping on my club because I know it's a kind of personal aspect, or I know we don't run the same as everybody else. But when you join us, first thing them OGs used to ask you is, what the fuck you gonna do for us?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Their whole thing was like, nigga, you joining us. We're not joining you.
Right.
If that was the case, we'd have your face on my back as a patch. But I don't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the game. You know, you're joining us, my dude. So what the fuck you gonna do for what makes us want to have you?
Yeah.
And I think that's what people got to put in perspective. If you're joining some type of organization, you got to figure out how you going to better than motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Whatever skills and personalities and characteristics you have, you need to figure out what I can do to bring to this group to either keep them where they at or make them that much better.
Right. Yeah.
Just that simple. But that don't always happen. People always want to come in expecting what you're going to get out of it. And when you don't get what you wanted, now everybody's an asshole.
Yeah.
Everybody done fucked up. Fuck the press. Fuck the road captain. Fuck the...
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And some go as far as saying fuck the patch. And that's why I
The
That
whole
too.
nine.
Yeah, you know what I'm
That
saying?
too.
And it's just kind of like you said, I think the leader needs to just go ahead and say, out bad, fucking.
Right.
You know what I mean? And again, going back, being asked some particular words about a particular person, and I was like, I don't think he should ever be on the set. Based on what little I know, he should never wear a patch again.
Right.
A week later, he had a patch on. You know what I mean? Some people are so hard up on trying to keep numbers or trying to get numbers, you know. And LA is so saturated with clubs that, you know, you can go from club to club to club. I've heard of people who've been in 7 different clubs.
Yeah.
I'm
I
like,
know about
God
5 motherfuckers.
You know, like,
Been in
damn, that's a lot. You know what I mean?
numerous. Is it long? Yeah.
So, you know, but as far as those people that's running and running their miles and they do it real smooth. They do subs. Subs are the best ones. And, you know, when people see the subs, they don't even say nothing. You know, you have the authority to shut this down, but you don't. Instead, you'll go and say, people need to get off social media with subs. No. You need to address that individual personally.
Right.
Because that's a generic statement. Everybody's subbing some kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
All the time. Even when they sit up there and say, I just be posting shit because I like it. This ain't about my life. Shut up. Yes, it is.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
so
it is.
it's a sub.
Yeah.
No, it ain't for you. I was just, you know. But,
Yeah.
you know, at the same time, people just need to shut them down. And I don't know. Everybody can't be out bad, but, you know, I've heard people being suspended from the set for 90 days. All kind of different rules that people don't apply today. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because of their behavior.
Right.
I got a homie now. I was like, man, get your bike. Come on, let's go. You know, he will not come on the set. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, they must have kicked your ass off the set. Because he was back when it was right. You know what I mean?
Right.
And in fact, he traded his Harley in for a goddamn Honda. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, what?
He just had a bad ride somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep it 1,000. Somewhere on this set, it was a bad goddamn trip. You know what I'm saying? He said, you know what, I'm cool.
Yeah.
I'm cool on them niggas.
Yeah, you know?
So,
Like my boy say.
But he has not badmouthed the set. That's what he hasn't done.
that's back to what I said. He had a personal ride.
Yeah.
And maybe he has, you know, something hidden that he don't want to come out. That's
Yeah.
why he don't want to come
Yeah.
out there.
You know what I mean?
So the game, you know what I mean? Like sometimes you got to weigh that shit out.
Right.
Because a motherfucker who ain't got nothing, be like, man, I'm out there anyway.
Right.
Nigga, I ain't got to
Right.
be in no club.
Right.
My name and shit is good.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Like my boy say, sympathy and
Validation. Yeah, Kendrick put that on.
Yes,
and that's
sir.
why I
Yeah.
sit and say about the cheerleaders.
Man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What do
Fuck.
cheerleaders do? They sympathize with you. They validate you. Even when you're losing.
Yes, sir.
They still out there. Go!
Yeah. We don't get him this time.
Yeah. Getting your ass kicked. They still out there with the pom-poms, shaking the shit out the motherfuckers.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm getting at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they will empathize, sympathize, and validate your bullshit.
Boy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's where it comes in. A lot of times what people do is they'll sit there and they'll reach out. So if somebody doesn't know club business, but they feel this person's character is 100, you know what I mean? That's the first thing they say. I don't care about the club, girl. You my homeboy.
Yeah.
You the home girl. Woo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And at that point, you kind of condoning the bullshit.
Yeah,
Again,
absolutely.
Because The individual might be the one in the wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, they are in the wrong when you air shit out.
Absolutely.
I don't give a fuck what the reason is.
Right. Yeah.
It really don't need to have one. If you're airing out your club business at any level of the game, you're wrong for it.
Mm-hmm.
And they should cut your head off for it.
Man, beat your
You know what I'm
motherfucking
saying?
ass.
You know what I'm saying? And it maybe not
Period.
literally,
Right.
but anybody else should look at that like, well, damn, if he did it to them, he's sure gonna do it
Do it
to
to
us.
us,
Right.
exactly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
And then for you to just, you work so hard to get that motherfucker.
Yeah.
You work so hard to get it.
Well, Mecca, I think you might have to. Certain clubs work so hard. Some
And
clubs,
certain individuals.
yeah, because some clubs you come in and you got a patch.
well, yeah.
You know what I mean? But the
As soon as you get
upstanding
that
clubs,
as soon as you get that patch snatch though, it goes all
Shazam.
sideways. It's all sideways. It's all personal. It ain't got nothing to do with what you did.
yeah.
It's all about some pussy. That's
Yeah,
that's
for
dick.
real.
You know what I'm saying? He's just trying to fuck. Or he mad because I took his bitch. Or she mad because her nigga want me. Or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Oh, let me go down and button this top button real quick.
Show the taco meat. Shazam!
Right?
Boy.
Leah says, I'm beautiful with or without my colors. But I would love to be back in the club. I just don't want to be around kids. I want to be around grown adults that handle themselves as such. Have some class. I don't trust clubs anymore. I get that. Sometimes you got to watch from the outside, though.
Yeah.
I get the whole, what they say, walk like a duck, talk like a duck, must be a duck shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's almost like when you see them Porsches. Porsches be clean, paint be great, rims,
yeah.
all that, and got a Volkswagen engine.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? It's the same shit. So
Yeah.
Perpetrating a fraud.
right, and at the same time, it's vice versa. Because I know a bunch of cars and shit that I know when I look at it, oh, that's a piece of shit.
Right.
But that motherfucker run like a scalded dog.
Man.
Yes, sir.
You know, I remember one time, one of my club brothers, he had a bike at, Terrell, Mechanic Terrell.
Yeah.
He had the bike in his front yard, right?
Yeah.
And I pull up. I had Terrell doing some work on my bike for me one time. And I pull up and I look at the bike and I'm like, I thought he was using the bike for parts. Just tearing it apart and, taking a piece here, blinker there.
Right.
Rotor over here. So I asked him, I said, man, what you doing with that? And you can visually see the rust.
Right.
Like around certain parts.
Right.
And I was like, who? I said, what you doing with that? He was like, oh, your club brother. I ain't gonna put his name out there. He was like, oh, your club brother finna ride that to, I think he said Fresno? Either Fresno or Oakland.
Mm-hmm.
I think I might have been Oakland. And I said, nigga, you lying. This motherfucker ain't finna leave Rosecrans. He was like, no, he finna ride that. I said, oh, okay. In my mind, I'm like, yeah, okay.
Right.
Leave it alone. It's like 2 in the afternoon. Why that night that motherfucker pulling up in Oakland? Whoa! I said, oh my God. And that very same bike, one night we coming back from San Diego. He racing another brother. These niggas is stomping down the motherfucking 5 easily at a $110, $115. And mind you, I thought the bike wasn't gonna move.
Right.
So that's why I say sometimes you can't always look from the outside. You got to really get to know the individuals because there are some grown ass motherfuckers that keep their business to themselves, don't tell nobody shit, whatever. But again, when the majority of them is doing that shit, it just it's like a hazy vision. They go, it's a blur.
Yeah.
If all 10 of you niggas run at me at full speed, I don't know if number 9's limping.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. So that's I think the.
But and again, just thinking about that, you got to be mindful who you open your ear gates to anyway.
Yeah,
pretty much.
You know what I mean? Not everything is validated. Not everything is worth listening to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If you want to be encouraged, if someone is lifting you up, telling you you can do it, and you got the one person telling you can't, which one you gonna listen to?
Right.
You got to make a choice because you either gonna be successful or you gonna fail. Either way it goes, it's your fault because you listened. You know what I mean? And again, I don't think you can get away from he say she say no matter what club you go to. You know what I mean? But it's about what you take in, and it's about who you identify with. Not clicking up, but who you identify with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I choose not to hang around messy people.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Okay, you my club brother or you my club sister.
Right.
But if I know you always got loose lips, you'll never know nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but okay, these people over here ain't, you know, and then people like, well, you clicking up. No, you're not. Because when we go out, we together.
Right.
But I don't want to be a part of the bullshit, so I choose not to hang out with the bullshitters.
Right.
And it's just sad that it's that way, but I don't care whether it's corporate America, the set, the hood, county jail, prison. You pick a place. They're all there.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, they're all there.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
don't let that stop you from joining up,
Right.
you know?
Like I said, you pick your poison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you fit in, you fit in. You'll know that by the time you hang around that particular club or that entity.
Yeah.
You will know for a fact that, yeah, this is where I want to be because I fit in. I like these people around here.
I mean, that's what it is with the whole hang around aspect.
Right.
That people don't grasp. You supposed to go hang around. You ain't supposed to sit there in the first night. Oh, bitch, we was turned up. Nigga, I'm
Right.
joining. That's not the way the game goes. Let them motherfuckers turn up for you for 90 days first.
Yeah.
And be like,
Yeah.
this is where I want to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Go to a motherfucker house and see what his bathroom look like. See what their kitchen look like.
Yeah.
And see if this is where I want to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Motherfucker will fool you.
Yeah.
Real
Oh,
quick.
man.
They always going to put their best foot forward from
Absolutely.
the start.
Yeah.
You know? So, and even when that happens, like, let some bullshit happen. Oh, they gonna find a million excuses as to why I did to that new nigga. Oh,
Yeah.
don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. You up to them.
That,
You know what I mean?
just
So-
that's just her, you know.
Yeah, right.
Right. You know, so that's the shit that's got to change. Both Centoria said definitely you have to observe these clubs to see where you would fit in best, and George says sitting back and analyze and watch people in the clubs, you will see how they move and operate, and that's all day long. That's where the
All
hang
day.
around shit comes in. But see, some people don't even know about that stage. They sit there, see with their homeboy, their homegirl, hang around, and you know, go out with them maybe 2 times, and all of a sudden, this is where I want to be. You don't
Right.
know the real ins and outs. You don't know which one's a dick, which one's a bitch, which one gonna talk shit. You know what I mean? Which
Yeah.
one, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah, which one is just here to be here?
But that prospecting is a very, very number one tool.
right.
It
Yeah.
really is. It really
Like
is.
you said, the club is prospecting you, but you also prospecting the club.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And a lot of times you won't know. 30 days, 90 days, you know, some clubs I've heard guys prospect for a year or two. You know what I mean? But you got to be an observer.
Yeah.
You
I
gotta
mean,
be.
and like I said, even like with us, I ain't gonna lie, I don't know anybody who damn near prospected under a year.
Yeah,
And it's just because, one, I ain't gonna dog you out.
right.
I'm gonna treat you like a human. But at the same time, I didn't know what the fuck is going on, how you moving and all that shit.
Yeah.
You know, so, but that's, you know, that's just how I do it. You know, like I said, I don't know anyone in my chapter besides the first group of individuals when we turned, and even with them, it was like 9 months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 9, 10 months or something like that. So,
Mm-hmm.
and after that, I promise you, I done had niggas almost 2 years and
Yeah.
shit.
But it's just, it just, you ask yourself, say, damn, are you really dedicated?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're dedicated for this shit, you're going to do what it takes to make it happen because you like the group of guys that you're fucking around, hanging around with.
Right.
Right.
You like them.
Right.
They like you.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, I like this shit. I'm going to stick around for a little bit more longer. So when they feel that's right for me to get that shit, that's what it's going to be.
Right.
I'm not going to ask you a question about it. I'm not going to ask you a question about it. I'm just going to roll with the punches. So when we go somewhere and I get my shit, guess what? Fuck you. I'm not taking this motherfucker off.
Yeah.
But they ain't gonna like you if you talking club business. Yeah, you can get the fuck up out of here. That's what you can do.
Man,
You know, so.
it's a different topic.
Right, but even then, like I said, with the hang around and prospecting, you'll get to sit and see who talks the most.
Right.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is running their mouth? Who this, that, and the other. And once you sitting back as a prospect, even as a prospects, they learn a lot.
You observe. Yes.
Not even they observe. Sometimes the members who are already patched up try to portray themselves as being bigger than they are, or a bigger entity, right, in life. So if I get some info, I'm going to go tell the prospect, like, I'm Mr. Know-It-All or Mrs. Know-It-All. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So even with them, they need to shut the fuck up. Because, like, they'll tell more than they should. So the prospect should know at that point, like, damn, I might not want to be over here. Because if I fuck up, this nigga
Then
gonna tell on me too.
I'm be gone. Yeah.
Yeah, he gonna tell on my black ass too, nigga.
But it just goes back to the initial conversation. There really is no need for you to run to social media about what you're having with that particular club. There's just no reason for you to do that shit, bro.
Yeah.
There's no fucking reason. And that's shit that I hate. And it's not, I'm not talking about my club per se, but I'm seeing this shit from a lot of motherfuckers who are a part of a club and then not a part of that club anymore, but you got all this negative bullshit to say about that club, but you never said, what the fuck did you do?
Right.
You've never said that shit.
Right.
It's about what the club did, but you never said, well, I did that.
Right.
I would have kicked your ass out too, motherfucker.
Right.
Get your bitch ass out of here.
But they're not gonna never say what they did.
No, because then I be
Because
telling on myself.
Yeah, I'm
You ain't
looking
gonna
for
tell 'em.
people that's gonna ride with me.
Right.
So they're
Right.
not gonna say
That's
what
it.
they did.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
That's where that shit come from.
And the people that's riding with you never question because they think you're loyal. They think
Right.
you're a stomped down individual. You see
Right.
what I'm saying? But after a while, the set will tell you, oh yeah, that person talked too much. Hey, you're gonna hear from people that you don't even know, and you're getting to know. You know what I mean? Now, what are you gonna do with that information?
Right.
You know what I mean? A lot of times we don't make the adjustments needed.
Which
You know,
should.
yeah, it should be made all the time because people will fuck up, hide they fuck up, then play victim.
Woe
Right.
is me.
Ain't no victims on the set, man.
Right.
You know what you signed up for. You know what I mean? So quit the pity pat party. Take your lumps, your bumps, and get on, right or wrong.
And that's it. And sometimes this shit work against you.
Yeah,
You'll
exactly.
you'll sit up there and get on Facebook or whatever the case and try to spin the narrative while you got 100 motherfuckers behind the scenes spinning the truth.
Knowing what happened.
Or
Yeah.
spinning a whole nother narrative. It might be a lie. What
Yeah.
they're spinning and what you're saying is the truth.
Right,
But it's all
right.
about who has the most influence on them ears. So
Yeah.
while you sitting there walking around and trying to get your little kudos, they could be sitting there dog walking your little motherfucking ass
Yep.
in conversation.
Yep.
So when you
Behind
go
the
wild, that's the
motherfucking
first thing they
scenes.
say. As soon as you say, "Oh, I'm such and such," I heard about you. I heard about you, my nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you go to join another club, and hey man, I got my boy over here, and I was thinking about, well, what's his name? Oh, such,
Yeah, I'm good.
we don't want that.
I'm good.
Yeah, and same with the females.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I heard she messy. I heard she this. I heard. I heard. It's because everybody putting their shit out there.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's kind of crazy because the vetting process is different now. People don't even call presidents no more or sergeant at arms or VPs to say, hey, this brother was over here with y'all. What's his standings? How was he? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? They don't even do that.
No.
They just be like, oh, come on,
We'll
man.
take them.
You know what I mean? So, and when you get that messy individual, that's your fault. Because you didn't go through the vetting process.
Or take
You
it
know?
a little further. When you get that messy individual and somebody jumping on their motherfucking ass out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And now you got to back up this individual out of nowhere.
Nowhere.
You getting the boot to your face out of
Nowhere.
you backing up a nigga that you met out of
Right.
nowhere.
Yeah, come on. Yeah.
You and this nigga going nowhere fast.
Right,
So,
right.
Yeah, I mean, they need to really look at that shit.
Yeah.
Well, some don't.
They don't.
It's all numbers.
It's a number thing.
It's the numbers.
Yeah, it's the numbers. And again, old saying, I'd rather have 10 riders than 100 busters.
Right.
You know,
Shit with 100 buses, boy.
come on, you look deep, but you ain't gonna
ne-
throw a rock
you
down
never
a
know,
dark
nigga.
alley.
You never know. I might be able to put some of them buses in the way.
You catch one, you catch
Right.
one of these.
Bill, you got a bullet yet? Oh, Bill.
You know, boot coming in here, catch that. You know,
Right, nigga.
shit.
Get your hood buster ass on.
I thought you was my brother.
Hood buster ass on the mouth
Yeah.
there. Catch that hot one, my guy.
I think that definitely is for me.
Yeah.
I think people need to shut those people down. No matter how much you say it, it's not gonna happen because it's almost like stimulation. They get turned on to hear this shit. You know what I mean? They can't wait to go tell the next person.
And I don't blame the motherfucking niggas who spread the rumor. I'm just talking about the niggas who started the rumor.
Yeah. Well, he's the worst corporate. But the ones who spread it, they don't even tell it the way they heard it.
So, at the same time, he would have nothing to spread at the first nigga opened his
open mouth.
motherfucking mouth.
Mecca put
said the right
22
way.
bikes on flat the same day.
Nigga, by a week later, this nigga done flattened 83 motorcycles, nigga. He done went
I
to
was
Harley.
there. I seen.
He slapped two clerks.
Yeah.
Stole a t-shirt.
You know.
He stole a t-shirt. I think the nigga took an air filter on the way out.
You know.
And he took it from the back. He didn't
And
even
you
take
should have
it.
seen him. He rode his bike home on flat.
And I think that nigga rode a Sportster out the front window.
You know.
Out the front door.
Hey. But it's nothing worse, man. Like I think Leah said it best. You know, she knows so much.
Who?
Leah,
Okay.
one of the listeners on there. She knows so much about clubs business. You know what I mean? And it's sad when she knows so much. And for her to speak on it's kind of like, damn, I'm in awe. Like, it makes me not even want to come back to the set.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I want to hang around grown folks.
But again, that's just because motherfuckers will get out there and they want to talk tough. They want to talk big. They want to talk and make it how much like make it sound interesting.
Right.
Like I'm this super biker individual, or I'm just really into the politics. And a lot of times the politics are meant strictly for your club.
Right.
They ain't supposed to be heard at nobody clubhouse, whether it's Undisputed, LA Riders, dudes, don't matter. We supposed to be in there partying, getting drunk, and socializing with the opposite motherfucking sex. Keep
Goddamn
it 100.
right. Goddamn right.
Yeah. All that politicking shit is for your clubhouse,
Right.
and for your meeting and shit like that. It's not for, you know what I mean, for the streets like that.
Yeah.
Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's everywhere. You know, you see dudes in huddles politicking at an annual. You know what I mean? Like,
That shit sucks.
yeah,
Man, that
because
shit
you
sucks.
ready to mess up somebody's annual.
Right. And at the same time, you know, people come in and who don't know any better. That'll be the wrong club over in the corner politicking.
Mm-hmm.
They automatically think something's going to pop off. They look, oh, you know what? I think it's time to go.
Yeah, it's time to
These
go.
niggas finna start something.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it all that shit gets bad. We had went out, you know, not too long ago, and you know, some brothers was politicking in the corner and whatnot. And I know outsiders looking are like, damn,
Right.
what the
right.
fuck finna happen?
Here they go.
You know?
Yep.
So,
Yep.
like sometimes, like it don't take a crowd per se, and I get it. You're looking out for your club brother, or you know, your sister or whatever. But sometimes when they sit there and say, "Hey, I got this," sometimes you need to take that.
Yeah.
And be like, "Hey, he got it," and don't be so on guard.
Right,
You know, back
right.
off a little bit. Kind of act like you're not even in the mix or
Right,
paying
right.
attention. Still chop it up, drink, smoke, whatever.
Keep
but
one
keep
eyeball
one
over
eye-
there. Yeah.
One eye on this motherfucker.
Yeah. That's it.
You know what I mean? But when everybody just stops and just, like they watching a football game or a golf tournament, that's when everybody else is like, well,
And
damn, what they
depending
looking
on
at?
what patch it is,
Or
motherfucker,
MMA
hey,
or
they
some
finna
shit.
start some shit. Let's go.
That's it.
Let's
Because they
go.
be like, oh,
Yeah.
what they looking at?
Yeah.
And then when you look, now you see more huddles and groups
Mm-hmm.
and what. And now what you do, you run to the major crowd or the people you was with. You be like, hey, they over there, whoop-dee
And you know what niggas do? All it takes is one to run.
That's it. Nigga, everybody
There's a
out there.
stampede.
This would be a track start.
Man.
Track
Go.
meet.
Time
Yeah.
to go. You know what I'm saying?
Time to go.
Yeah. I'm going to do that one day. I'm going to just be on the set and just
Take off running.
Whoa. See, I mean,
Well,
you
you-
niggas run with me.
Right. Well, you know,
I promise you. I got
Hey,
to make sure no
listen.
chosen few around, though, because if I run with them, they running with me. But I got
Right.
to make sure it's somebody else.
Yeah, hey, I was finna say, because if you start running, you know they finna run, because
That's what I
Fontaine's
said. I
coolest
got to
nigga on
wait
the
till
set. He don't walk, he stride.
I'm going to wait till it's just some of my, you know what I mean, just some cool people or something. I promise you I'm going to come through there running.
You gotta
looking
take
backwards
you gotta
for no
take your
reason.
vest off, bro. You can't even have your vest on, man.
That
It's
nigga
gonna be a
said-
stampede, bro.
That nigga said,
Listen.
You know, nigga, Fontaine don't run.
Right. So listen, I'm sitting at my bike.
Nigga,
I
don't.
see,
At all, nigga.
if I see he running, I know it's time to go. These niggas got bazookas over here.
He said, "Oh no, these niggas carrying anthrax
You know what I'm saying?
with biohazard suits."
Oh, nigga say, you know, goddamn well they nigga Fontaine run, nigga.
Niggas
It's
that
time
don't
to go.
even jog is running. Shit. Fire this bitch up, Black Queen. Let's go.
Right. They niggas gonna run past me.
Man, you know what I'm saying? Shit.
I'll be like, "Feel away from me."
You know, shit.
Oh, shit.
Like,
As
wait
y'all
for
see,
me,
we
Phil.
can't have a little fun, you know.
Phil.
Here's the pistol, my nigga. Do your shit.
I'm right. Throw a pistol back, nigga. I'm gonna fall. I'm gonna lay on the ground on purpose just to make you think I tripped.
Oh, like damn! Now I gotta wait for this nigga.
He was like, "Damn, I gotta go back."
Man, I'm gonna leave the bike running, put it on the kickstand. Come on, homie. You know,
Oh boy.
shit.
So you know, if that nigga running, it's
Man.
time to go.
Yeah.
You ain't never seen a nigga run before. Nigga on the set? Shit.
Right. Right.
Oh yeah, you right, bro. Ain't no safety on, and one is up top all the time.
Oh yeah.
How do you not? I don't understand. I ain't gonna start talking about
I
that.
remember one time they had some shit. Niggas running past me, nigga, like it was a whole stampede. That's what I remember. I seen Dollar Bill. Yeah, that drink. Oh my god. My club brother, we was in the Brothers and Sons one time, right? He, if he listening, he'll be okay because we just told the story the other day. But me and Dollar Bill, he's in the Purdue chapter, right? We at the Sun some years ago, and we chilling, and some shit pop off on the dance floor, and the one of the niggas who popped it off or was having an issue, I know him,
Right.
right? So what he do? He kind of like does that little move. You know how niggas got the move like, "Oh, nigga, whoop, whoop, whoop," but you would think they got a gun.
Right.
He didn't, but I know he was going to get one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was funny. So when he did the little move or whatever, he goes out the back door. Why does the crowd follow him?
Oh, Lord.
Usually the crowd would go out the front
Front
door.
door,
right.
Oh, this nigga with the gun going out the back? Let me go out the front.
Right.
Nigga, they followed him like a stampede.
Damn.
A stampede. So as they, everyone, and it started off slow motion. Because he took off first. And it was like, and then just everyone just took off first. I said, damn. So at one point as they running past me, they damn near pushing me. So I just stop. I'm like, hold up. I ain't getting pushed. Y'all niggas go ahead and run.
Right.
You know what I mean? But something made me think like, damn, where the fuck Dollar Bill at? He was just standing next to me. Right? So I started to walk. When Sons was on Long Beach and Alondra, coming from the dance floor, you go out this little back room. There's a bathroom right here. It's a little curve. And then it's outside.
Right.
So we get in that little groove right there between the actual dance floor, where the kitchen is at, and this bathroom. Mm-hmm. I look around like, damn, where the fuck Dollar Bill at? All of a sudden, I look over on the ground. I see a drink in one hand against the wall. So what the fuck? I go over there. I go, look. This nigga Dollar Bill is pressed against the wall on one knee, and he got his drink in his hand, right, like this. Like, when I say he on the wall, damn near as thin as this right here, like,
Man.
like he wallpaper. Right,
Damn.
so I pick him up. I said, "Come on, nigga, what's up?" He said, Fontaine." He said, "I ain't finna drop this drink." I said, he said, "Nigga, I just paid for this."
Man.
I said, "Yeah." I said, "This nigga did not drop one drip,
Man.
not one." When you see him, ask Dollar Bill about this. Nigga had me rolling. That
Damn.
nigga got on one knee. That nigga was on the ground like,
He's like, I'm not dropping my drink.
not a drop. I promise you, all I seen was one hand on the wall with a drink, like out of nowhere. Nigga, like, what the fuck?
Man.
But yeah, so I don't know.
Oh, boy.
Just got to keep that personal shit
off
personal.
the airwaves.
Yeah, and I think the higher ups got to handle their business accordingly when they see it or hear it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um,
Most do.
Yeah,
I hope, or you know what I mean, from what I see.
Yeah.
You know, but that's why I say the fines, and not even the fines per se, just the consequence got to be stiffer for divulging club business.
Right.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
Right.
Period.
That's it right
and
there.
cut that shit short, because the stuff you tell, you don't know if you finna fuck somebody's life off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whether it's just boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband,
Yeah.
life or death.
Yeah.
You don't know what the fuck is going on. So, you just got to be careful.
What's up, y'all? Y'all not gonna call in and talk to us?
Right. Hey, you right, George. It was a cold little spot. You know
Man.
exactly where it's at. That little corridor. That little corridor right there, nigga. You stuck like a motherfucker, nigga.
Oh shit.
Stuck.
Yeah.
Hey, Candace, we don't care, nigga. We don't care. We know he's serious about his liquor, nigga. That nigga was not dropping nothing.
Man. Shoot me, nigga. Just don't spill my drink.
Right. Shoot me, nigga.
Shit.
You better not touch the yak, though.
Man.
I'm trying to tell you.
He came in there like Binky. Nigga, you slow down, nigga. You almost made me spill my yak, nigga. Soup cost me $200.
All over this soup, nigga.
Nigga, $200 soup, nigga.
Man, you know what I'm talking
Oh
about?
shit.
Boy.
And that's one thing about the set. There is some motherfucking fucking funny, fun ass moments, man, that you just really can't get nowhere else. You know what I mean?
can't. You know, and there's some moments that ain't that funny, but you gonna make them funny.
Right. Especially everybody all right. Yeah, nigga, did you see? Nigga, you dug a hole.
Nigga.
Where your gun at? Shit. I don't know. Don't tell nobody I left it
Yeah,
somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
All the time.
So, yeah, it'd be some funny shit, you know.
All the time.
Duval 3 stumps, nigga. Duval.
Oh, no. We ain't fucking with you, Duval. This nigga right here. Get off subject real quick. I tell this nigga Duval. I ain't fucking with this guy no more. Anyways, he was prospecting, right? So I sent him to the store to get some blunts. And you know, nowadays, we ain't smoking them old... Nigga, this is not the 80s and 90s. We
Right.
smoking them... You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
We getting the cigarillos. Okay? The thin ones.
Thin ones.
When I say this nigga damn near pulled up on a flatbed with a whole bunch of tree trunks just cut down, I said, oh no. He said, say what you looking for, Press? I tried to be cool and use one, nigga. I think a whole one of them blunts took up a whole ounce. Nigga, I said, what the fuck? Never again. Never again. So ever since then, he always be like, Press, you want something? No, not from you.
Man.
Yeah, not from
I
you, my
ain't
dude.
prospect no more prayers.
Yeah.
I got it.
Boy,
Nigga, this nigga.
boy.
Yeah, I promise you. I could have built me a log cabin with them little blunts.
Damn.
I could have had a smoke and a cabin.
Little house on the prairie, huh?
And a roof over my head.
Oh, boy.
Man.
Yeah, I could use one of them wraps as a parachute. Nigga jump right off the other side of the goddamn mountain.
Damn.
It's the parachute.
Parasailing, nigga. I'm
What?
telling you.
Parasailing
Niggas are so big.
with a tree trunk.
Nigga. I said, where you get these from? You know what I'm saying? Where the fuck you get these
man.
from? Central Park?
Shit.
Yeah, that's the fun shit. You know what I mean? That's the fun shit.
Doreen, what are you asking? You can call in and ask us.
Oh, shit.
Uh-oh.
Damn, did I get a wrong invite?
What is you asking, Doreen?
I was trying to see her other message before that, but I don't see it.
Man, but like I said, man, just for future reference, Presidentes, Sarges, members, prospects. How that nigga said on that song? Niggas! Keep that shit in-house.
In-house.
Yeah, don't be out there speaking about nothing. I don't give a fuck if a nigga fucked up the Rice Krispie trees at the at the club meeting. He's supposed to bring snacks. Don't speak on nothing.
Yeah.
That's the best way to avoid a lot of bullshit and to avoid motherfuckers in y'all club's business spinning a narrative that may or may not be true.
See Cheeks. Yeah, the real shit.
Yeah.
See what Cheeks said?
Yeah.
About dollar.
Oh, yeah. She asked me about that night. She asked about that night.
What night?
I don't know. I guess the night that at the kickback on Crenshaw.
Oh,
She was up there.
Oh, I don't know what happened. I'm drunk now, so what?
Hey,
Did I miss it? This goddamn fire over here with the cinnamon in it. Shit. What? I don't know what happened that night. Did I do it?
You might have. What do you do, Doreen?
But you got to go all the way back to the beginning, nigga, I guess.
This nigga said I'm drunk. What the fuck you talking about?
I will relinquish responsibilities to whatever you're talking about.
Hey, but this shit is actually pretty damn good.
It is.
Who the fuck you? Who
See,
told you
that was
about
his way of
this?
getting out of that fine he had 2 weeks
On my
ago.
bar.
You had it on where? You had it on your bar.
On my bar.
And you just start playing?
I was like, you know what, it's Brandon. We're going
No, you know what he said? I'm going to take this shit up here because I don't even want this shit.
No.
Then he get here like, woo, this shit fire.
This is actually all right.
I should have left this
I'm
at the
taking this
house.
home. Right. I'm taking this motherfucker home. Yeah, who told you about this, man?
It was a
Stop
gift.
lying.
It was a gift.
Stop lying.
It's been
Stop
in my
lying.
fucking house.
Who told you about this drink?
It was a gift.
Stop lying.
I didn't buy it.
Stop lying. All right.
You know what,
You know what?
motherfucker?
I'm going to say one more. I got one thing to say. Just one. Stop lying.
Oh, shit.
Man, put that shit to the side, man.
This will definitely be on the bar.
Hey, Duval, this is, we're going to try this one day. It's, what you call it?
Whiskey Fire.
Whiskey, Fireball whiskey,
Yes,
right?
sir.
It's
We
called
the
Tennessee
Whiskey
Fire,
Fire
man.
or-
Tennessee
You finna
Fire.
go get the bottle, my guy.
Tennessee Fire.
My boy, he's about to go get the bottle. But
You know I
this
got
and
you.
some root beer. And you know me, I don't fuck with no whiskey, but I'm going to start fucking with this.
You goddamn right. It is being added to the collection. This shit is good.
Jack Daniels. Tennessee
Let's
Fire.
go,
Tennessee
Leah. We're
Fire.
waiting on you to get your drink before it's all gone. Yeah, Tennessee Fire, cinnamon spice, Jack Daniels with some root beer.
Root beer.
Ladies, drink with caution. You're bound to get
Bruh.
naked.
Shit's fire.
He said bound to be naked. Let me go and put this cup down.
I said ladies, bro. Ladies. Ladies, bro.
Okay. 'Cause I sure finna go pour my cup out. This nigga said naked. You know what?
I think it said, yeah, let me go and put this down real
I'm
quick.
gonna go outside. I'm gonna go outside like
Yeah.
I'm tipping for the homies. For the homies.
Tennessee. Shit.
Yeah, it's on deck, Duval. Best
that
believe
shit's
it's on
fire.
deck.
And I don't fuck with whiskey at all.
Oh yeah,
That
Jack
shit
is your
fire.
shit. Then try this Jack Daniels Tennessee Fire.
Yeah.
Cinnamon spice whiskey with some root beer.
Yeah.
You know I don't even drink dark, but I'ma fuck this shit.
Tell y'all what, just come on to the kickback. We gonna have some
Oh
on
yeah,
deck.
yeah. We be
You
there
know what I mean?
tomorrow.
Come on down tomorrow.
Actually, I'm gonna go buy this shit for tomorrow.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm gonna be drunk. So if you come in there and I kind of act glaze over your if you walk in, I kind of glaze over you. Don't be like, man, Fontaine, really?
Oh,
Nigga, I'm drunk.
blame it on the Tennessee Fire.
Nigga,
look,
glaze.
glaze.
Fuck. I'ma glaze smooth over
No,
your
Duval. It's on 14100 Crenshaw Boulevard.
Crenshaw Boulevard. Kickback on Crenshaw. We there Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays on a regular, but we're gonna start having some other shit popping.
We got a
And
comedy night coming,
I
y'all.
was just finna get on it.
Go ahead,
April
do your
11th, we got a comedy show popping up. I'll have an event made, so make sure you chime in.
I think he drunk too. He said he'll have an event made. You mean a flyer?
No, an event. Remember I told you I was gonna make the event on Facebook.
Oh, you gonna plan an event on
This
Facebook?
nigga drunk.
I'm drunk.
He drunk. He drunk.
Why you do that shit, Mecca?
Yeah.
Mecca,
I'm
the
gonna do the
motherfucking
flyer too.
sober wrecker.
But that's why I said. That's why I said talk to your boy because I'm gonna still do the flyer,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna make the event as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so people can chime in. But like I said, make sure y'all pull up. You know, I might crack a joke or two for you. I might even sing or something. No, but I ain't doing no singing.
no R. Kelly been
It's gonna be fucked up if he funnier than the goddamn comedians.
Huh?
It's gonna be fucked up if you funnier than the
Hey, I'm gonna
comedians,
tell you
bro.
what. Then they'll never come back.
We ain't
Never
paying.
come back.
We ain't paying. He was like, "Oh yeah, we gonna pay him as soon as they get to." No, we not. We paying after the show.
Right.
We might be some niggas.
Right. Then he was talking about, oh, we just paying. I said,
Yeah. Shit.
but no. But yeah, make sure April 11th. It ought to be good and popping. We
Man, y'all come out, tell a friend.
Yeah, yeah. We got the Gotta Have It Grill, Mike the
Yeah.
Wingman.
29 flavors.
Yeah,
they don't
1-9 Creations back there. Vandy back there making
Man,
the
I ate
cakes.
that damn cake at 3 this morning.
Nigga.
Nigga.
I had some of that peach cobbler.
Motherfucker got to put a ball and chain on they motherfucking ass and lock them next to the
Nigga.
oven. They
Nigga,
got
nigga,
cracking.
I promise you I bought 3 of them. Took 3 of them bitches home.
Look. I say, man, you must really like those. Oh, no, these for moms, man.
One went to her. Only one.
Hey, they get down.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they get down,
Wings
y'all.
on deck, though.
Yeah, they get down.
Wings
Yeah.
on deck.
For those who don't know, like, yeah.
Yeah, wings on deck.
Yeah, they
Cabbage
get down.
is fire.
Yeah.
Was it too hot for you yesterday?
Yeah, it was spicy as a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Hey, but that shit is fire. I don't care what nobody
Yeah, no,
says.
it was good in the motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm a cabbage nigga. So.
I don't eat cabbage.
You
Dog.
don't?
it was-
You
yeah.
don't know what you're missing.
No, don't eat cabbage.
Oh, well.
I ain't that black.
See,
Clearly.
I was just gonna say he grew up in a rich neighborhood.
Don't you fucking
That nigga said we don't eat cabbage. We eat salads
Nigga that had nothing to eat, nigga fried cabbage. You know what I'm saying?
all day.
All
You
day.
didn't understand with the little sausages and shit.
Man,
Bacon cut
little
up in it,
sausages.
nigga. My grandma used to
Shit.
get off the chain with that shit.
Everybody got to go to the grocery store and steal something. You get the sausage, you get
Nigga.
shit. Man,
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
yeah, man, y'all come on down 14100 Crenshaw Boulevard, man. Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Come hang out. Tell a friend.
Hey Duval, the next song is dropping soon. I actually had to do something for the cats in France. So once I give it to them, then I'll let it be out there.
Facilitate on the West Coast.
I'm out.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, but the food, like I said, I
What?
and I don't even mean to put it out there like that. I was surprised. But sometimes I'll sit there and be hungry all day. Just wait till I get to the podcast, to the kickback, just to eat. I ain't gonna lie. I
Yeah.
did that shit yesterday. Starving in that motherfucker.
Man, shit, yeah, I had. I
Getting
was
drunk for no
planning on
reason.
taking it home. I was gonna eat a couple of them. Shit.
That nigga Phil beat that little plate up, nigga.
And look, I put the little cake in my pocket. I'm like, yeah, this is good for late night, right? Got home, it's like 3 a.m. Got the
Oh yeah,
motherfucker-
that Sakatumi cake. Fire.
got the hungers. I'm like, ooh.
Fire.
Went there, got that motherfucker with some milk. Grown motherfucker still drank milk, motherfucker. And like, yeah, this shit was good. You know,
Right.
they get down.
Yeah.
I gotta give them their credit,
Oh
man.
no, yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
They get down.
Oh yeah.
So, like I said, come through there and get your food. I be telling my, like, especially the OGs who kind of don't, if you ain't got no wife or something
Yeah.
cooking at home, bring your ass up in there about 7:30, and come get your ass a full plate.
Yeah,
of
that's
that.
me. I ain't
Yeah.
got nobody cooking at home, so I'm coming to eat.
Right?
Goddamn, Cheeks, you said 5 birthdays? Mañana?
5.
Yeah, she said
got-
5.
Who got 5 birthdays?
Cheeks said they celebrating 5 birthdays tomorrow.
That's a quadruplet. How many is
Oh yeah. No, yeah, Cheeks. Rara already hit me and said
okay.
that they'll be here. So I do know that. So yeah, y'all come through. It ought to be a good little functioning, having a little birthday, a five-way birthday shabizzle.
Shabizzle. Okay.
Shabizzle. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not asking no questions.
No.
Right.
None.
All the ladies will be there tomorrow.
Oh, that's where I need to be. Shit.
Here you go.
Right after the funeral.
You know what I'm talking about?
You know what I mean? With the Tennessee Fire.
Oh, nigga. I'm telling you think I'm joking. I'm finna go find
And
a bottle of
the
this shit.
A&D root beer.
Nigga, I'm gonna fuck around and get some. What's that? Kirkland, Stater Brothers. A&W, I don't give a fuck. As long as it's root beer.
Yeah.
Mecca said, I got to make up. Doc talking about a fine 3 weeks ago. I'm thinking the podcast was next week. You know, he was happy. When you came in and he said, oh, you on flat? He was like, yeah. Yeah. Shit, we gonna get a nigga fine.
Right. Nigga taking a break.
I said, all right, man. Shit.
That nigga thought he had a break coming. Yo, you got a flat? Cool. 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 That's all niggas on the couch. Cool. You got a flat. So I tagged back. But I'll be there. Fuck.
Man.
Fuck.
He's like, let me get my drink now.
He's like, fuck.
Shit, I'm on cup 2.
Right. This nigga swerving all the way here. I didn't get to put it on cruise control. Boop. Yeah,
Lane assistance.
nigga, lane assistant. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, you know what?
Hey, shit.
Fuck this car.
Man.
Oh fuck. Okay.
You did your shit tonight, though, Mecca.
You did.
Yeah, man.
That shit right
Yeah,
there.
that's just fire.
You did. It's all right, brother.
That's the seducer right there,
It's
man.
all right.
That is seducer.
See, you can't drink this and be in the club because you be telling all the business.
Yeah.
You be telling all the biz like, hey, check this out.
Check this out.
Just between me and you, though.
I got a shooby dooby over there.
Yeah. Shooby dooby doo. This nigga telling.
You know? Shit.
Are we going out tonight? We might slide past a couple of spots after this shit. But the kickback on Crenshaw is tomorrow, 7 to 2. And from what they saying, somebody Sadiddy, Hell Dog, Rah Rah, Lady Attractor, and thicker than a goddamn whatchamacallit, his birthday. I mean, Snicker.
So who in
Thicker
the
than a Kit
fuck
Kat.
in that group is an Aries? That's what I want to know.
Thicker than a Kit Kat.
Fuck.
Shit, all of them is Aries if their birthday is here.
No, Sadiddy is a Pisces.
Oh.
She not. She just talking shit. She just
Ain't that a bitch?
she in a Pisces, bro. She just want to throw her birthday this week. No, I'm playing.
Okay. Oh, see? Rah, nigga, is her only. She's an Aries.
You only work. You only count for the night. What the flim?
What the McBizzle is that?
Right. I don't know. We might still pull up at a little spot on the way to his on the crib. What's
Better
that?
party
Rare
hard
Breed?
in
Yeah.
town for a night.
Right. They got the Rare Breed and the Soul Brothers is open.
And Silver Stars.
Oh yeah, Let me
Yeah.
shut the fuck up. And the Silver Stars.
Oh, you're bad.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Go ahead and take this out your way.
Nah, man, bring that back. Fuck.
Put that over here, man.
That's what busters do.
Bring that shit and take it back home,
That's
huh?
what they do. Busters, my nigga.
Nigga, you was brand new when I cracked that motherfucker, dog.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit.
Before
doing
you got
good.
here, it was halfway gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, me and Phil was already tipping.
No, I said before you got here.
This motherfucker, yeah, boy.
No, that shit fine. I'm going to give me a
Bill
bottle
touched it, it
tomorrow.
was halfway gone. You over here breath smelling like cinnamon.
Where the hot tamales at, bro? You know, break bread. Shit.
This nigga mouth smell like a mouth full of Red Hots.
You talk to them niggas over there, they just smell like fresh cinnamon. Bitch. Who? Them three over there.
There you go. Silver Stars it is. I might go over there and see if I can steal a chimichanga out of one of them. Cece always buy me a drink, but I might be too fireballed out before I get up out of here.
Yeah.
I might just need a water and a chimichanga.
Man.
Wait.
A chimichanga, my friend?
A water and chimichanga?
I need a water and a chimichanga. Fuck.
Taquito chimichanga.
Telling you. Telling
Man,
you.
I can't believe none of you motherfuckers called in tonight. That's
Yeah,
what
nobody ever called. But
I
you
don't
know what?
understand that.
Ain't nobody got on the
What
phone.
the fuck?
Ain't nobody got on the phone.
Oh, yeah, damn. My
Anybody-
bad, y'all. I'm sorry. My bad.
Ain't nobody got no phone. Watch somebody call now. Nigga, I got a phone.
You have a collect call from LA County Jail.
You have a collect call from an inmate. Ah, damn you.
This call will be recorded.
Right. Like, how this nigga watch?
man.
How this nigga watching the podcast?
Watching the
Nigga, I've been
podcast
watching
from-
the past
You know-
30 minutes.
You niggas funny as motherfucker. I'm in CB4, homie.
I've been watching the past.
It's the CB4.
He said, I've been watching since they done did their rounds.
Yeah.
Fuck. But yeah, man, y'all keep that shit off of social media, man. Real talk. If you got a problem with your club and you out of there, don't do it. Keep that shit off social media and walk away.
And actually keep that shit in-house.
Yeah, keep it
That's-
in-house. And,
yeah,
if, and
fuck.
if you know it's an issue, man, try to work that shit out.
Keep it in
know?
fucking house. That is really the bottom line to the game. You know, because let me put it in a lighter kind of perspective. When it comes to a lot of the bike clubs that are on this set, you know what I mean? They don't run like everybody else.
Right.
You know, they just kind of, oh, well, and kind of brush it off. But there are some entities and organizations or whatever that, like I said, they will cut your fucking head off for doing it. You know, there won't be no hesitation to it. You know, they catch you at the grocery store, like, it just doesn't matter. So, best way to do that is just keep it all, you know, bottled the fuck up. Now,
Yeah. Agree.
Yeah, real talk. Save yourself some headache or getting a beat down.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like I always say, man, toughen that shit out. If you don't know, try to figure it out to make it work. Because a lot of times, man, you know, we're saying, I am my brother's keeper.
Right.
Pretty much.
That means you're supposed to keep that shit a
Yeah,
secret.
you're supposed to keep secrets
Yeah.
and everything. That's what the whole, and same
fact,
with the sister shit.
Me and a
I'm
brother
my
was talking
sister's
today, and he was talking about a situation. He was talking to somebody, a particular young lady, and she was inquiring about some stuff, and he didn't indulge club business. You know what I'm saying? You know, just get to know the people. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you can say some things without speaking club business. You know,
All day.
But then you got those people who, like I said, they look for. They go get a gang of other motherfuckers to go against you, and that's what they're looking for, that support system to make them or to validate their wrong into a right.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep it 1,000, my boy. Yeah, Leah. Real talk. As she should have.
Mm-hmm.
As she should have.
That's it.
Appreciate you, Candace. I'd appreciate y'all just call in and say fuck, say something. Like,
I got something to say.
Where y'all get that fireball from?
I'm fireballed out. I'm fireballed the fuck out right now, my nigga. I blame Mecca.
Don't blame me, dog.
Mecca the motherfucking sober wrecker.
Right. He fuck your sobriety up.
Sober.
Shit.
You better not be taking no class.
If you get pulled over, don't mention my motherfucking name.
Oh, I am. I'm giving you your address too. Tell me where I came from. Where you coming from? Oh,
You drive a Pinto.
375.
You know?
375 West Mecca Street.
Fuck.
Hey, how many of y'all know what a Pinto look like?
Ooh,
A
Lord
Pinto?
Jesus, fuck.
Pinto.
Nigga, my grandma used to have one. She used to let me
Yeah.
drive that motherfucker when I was like in the 8th grade by
Hey,
myself.
I seen a convertible one. I was like, damn.
Yes,
I did
have
too.
You know what I'm saying?
On
Yes.
Friday. When that nigga slowly making the bitch to stop, just tear them chucks up.
Man,
I ain't seen one
it's
live.
been years, but yeah, it's been years, but yeah.
You seen one recently though?
I seen one recently, but it was a racing car. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Oh, they put a V in that motherfucker, huh?
yeah V8 that motherfucker, big
I
tires.
seen a nigga with one about 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Nigga on spokes with a sunroof, beating out of control.
Beating.
Yes.
Matter of fact, it's a cat in Oakland that got one.
Yes.
Yeah, you
Beating
know,
out of
Oakland keep it
control,
playing.
boy.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
I said, you
yeah.
finna
Keep it
beat that
playing.
Pinto to shit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Shit.
I can't fuck with no Pinto, though, dog.
They probably
Hey,
like,
niggas
what the
is
fuck
on.
are they talking about? Is they talking about a pony?
Pinto hatchback.
I seen another nigga with a Pinto. Clean though.
Yeah, they
I
be
tell you,
clean.
clean.
Once you put the 8 in them, shit.
Oh, yeah.
It ain't a
Yeah.
Pinto. That motherfucker gremlin.
That's a yes, sir. Yeah, light your ass up.
Yeah, shit.
Heavy.
Yes.
Well, the old Ford Pinto.
Yeah, he did it. He got us faded. He did the shit in purpose. He thought we was gonna cut the show out early.
Yes, fucking Mecca stupid ass fault.
I ain't did
Fucking
shit.
fireball head ass nigga.
He thought we was gonna be like, man, you know what?
He was hoping we was
gone.
gonna be like, nah, nigga, keep your fireball. Niggas came in here like nigga with a cup and ice.
Share that shit. Oh,
That's why this
shit is
nigga
good.
Megan time, I'm gonna just go ahead and take this home.
Yeah, I
I
got
bet you
this.
are, nigga.
It was new, dog, when I opened it.
It was new. When
It was brand new. Like, I was like, wait. 'Cause usually I'll, nigga bring, tequila and shit. I was like, ooh.
You see, I put my little tequila down. You see that bitch ain't moved yet.
Man.
To the side.
Nigga, I took 2 sips coming in here. I said, what? Fire, what?
Fire, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's just real. Oh, yeah.
What the? They all finna go get Fireball gonna owe us some money because we promoting the hell out you motherfuckers.
Right.
When niggas Jack Daniels.
No, don't put.
fire.
Yeah, he owe me some money. Jack owe me some money then.
Get that nigga fine, man.
I ain't
He just talked about niggas talking
We
club
talk about
business,
club business
on the mother.
on the air though. On live air, we just said
We just
keep
had-
this shit in
man.
house.
You know what?
Bikes in the hood is a clubhouse, bro.
Right?
Wait,
Shit.
my bad.
We ain't even filled up the cabinet yet. You already going bad, bro. Shit.
My bad. Here, dog. Take that from me. Put it over there.
Right. He said, you know what? Go ahead. Go ahead on it.
Put it over there a little bit, dog.
It's all right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and sip on my little cup right quick.
Motherfuckers gonna be in them big rigs and big trucks swerving. Bitch, kick back. You know, maybe
Right. Where my
spill
root beer,
my-
bitch?
Fireball. Shit.
Fuck.
No, that's some good shit. Yeah, you did that, man. You all right with me, man.
Yeah, man.
See, we was already voted to vote you off the show, dog. You came in with the Tennessee Fire.
With the
We
fire.
can't let you go now. We gotta
Damn.
keep you, bro.
Why, boy?
We love you like that.
Damn. Just that quick at the boot.
No, we keeping you.
I'll be keeping you.
We gonna keep you.
Oh, I get to stay.
Fireball saved the day.
Good shit, man.
Alright, fuck.
All right, y'all. See y'all tomorrow. 14100 Crenshaw Boulevard. We say 7 o'clock, but you know we black, so it's like 7:30.
Yeah, nigga.
We usually get it popping about 7:30.
Don't be bashful.
Yeah, if the game on tomorrow, we're gonna have some games popping. Little music.
Leah, your flight has been delayed until Friday, so that means you gotta come out tomorrow.
There it is.
Show up.
We'll see you tonight where the chimichangas and bottled water is at.
In the tutus.
Right, and the tutus.
Ah, shit.